Good evening and salutations, my Jade fans. You know, I am, I find myself sometimes struggling with this iteration of Christina. I've said this before, and I feel like it's deja vu all over again. There is a point where Chase calls Christina down and says, I have a couple of questions. And Christina's like, listen, I got a lot of stuff going on today. I don't know if I can get down again. And Chase pretty much makes it where it's like, I wasn't, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, you need to come down. Tell me if this sounds familiar. How many times did I sit there and say, what are you doing? Why are you talking to these cops without a lawyer? Your mom and your sister are lawyers. You would think that at some point that this was drilled into her head how talking to the cops without representation does not always end well. Your dad will not sit there and talk to the cops without a lawyer. You've seen Jason so many times not talk to the cops without a lawyer. But yet, she goes down there with Michael, who really can't do anything because Chase was like, listen, I'm only sitting there doing this as a friend, as a favor because, we're kind of boys, but I don't want you talking. So my whole thing is like, I'm glad he did go down there because the minute that he started asking questions, she answered, hey, listen, because he asked, like, where was you on the night of X, whatever, right? And she's like, yeah, I was down there visiting my daughter's grave and stuff. But then he starts asking more questions. After a while, Mike was like, yeah, you know what, listen, this is done. This whole meeting is done. Next time you contact her, we're coming with a lawyer. But I don't even understand why she agreed to even talk in the first place. And this isn't the first time she did that. It's like I don't remember her. I mean, maybe she was always. I don't want to sit there and say dumb, but like there's seriously a lack of common sense within her, and it makes it very difficult to root for such a character that just does things that are just like, the hell is wrong with you? Now, before that happened, they were, I think, at the office or whatever, and Christina she still wants to say something, try to clear her mother, and Mike was like, that's a bad idea. And Mike was like, what we can do is we can offer the cops a stronger suspect. Now, Christina got the sense that Michael was going to pay off someone, and Michael didn't sit there and try to deny it. So I'm just like, are you actually going to legitimately look into other people that may have a stronger motive besides Sonny? Or was you just giving her false hope so this way she wouldn't say anything? Or was you actually planning on paying somebody else off to get her mom off the hook and maybe even Sonny off the hook? I'm still very unclear about that, and I kind of feel like maybe the writers are too. So Jack Jack was about to sit there and give Carly the location. Anna comes in and just hangs up the phone. I'm like, you serious? So she's like, I want the location and everything like that. And long story short, Brent was like, I don't work for you. But he does give it to her. He gives her the third degree and is asking, why are you doing this? And, why are you going to risk your life and stuff? And I don't want this stuff to sit there and get blowback on me since you got intel from me. And I'm just like, part of me is like, why are you giving such a third degree? Like, do you actually care about her? Are you worried about her safety? Because she is going into a dangerous situation. She's going there without backup. Um, Or is it really just about covering her ass? Because I feel like this is more of a concern for her. I remember a conversation way back where Valentine and Brennan was talking. And I think Valentine was like, if it comes down to it, would you sit there and silence Anna? He didn't say anything. And it was almost like, I won't do it unless it's my last, and I mean absolute last option. I'm going to sit there and take a wild guess that he actually still does care about her in a sense, which is why he was so hesitant on giving her the information and giving the third degree and everything. Now, of course, she gets it, and she calls Felicia, and Felicia wants to go, but she's like, I don't want you going because if you go, then Matt goes, and there's too many people, and I'm fine, I'm a badass or whatever, and I'm gonna sit there and do it. So she takes some sort of pills or whatever, some sort of malaria pills or whatever to make sure she doesn't get sick. So she's on a plane, and at some point, Jason's there. So I guess they're going to be working together. Now, while Carly's not there waiting to try to get information, they talk to Isaiah. And Jason's like, at first Isaiah was like, I want to come with you, but he's still bedridden. He can't do anything. So Jason's like, I need info. Now, any sort of weaknesses or anything like that. And Isaiah's like, it's his girlfriend. And his girlfriend is really beautiful and, pretty much wrapped around her finger. And he has a nickname for her called English. It's kind of weird because I only heard maybe two people call her English. So what are the odds, unless she actually gave him, hey, listen, you could just sit there and call me English, whatever. And I think Carly was about to figure it out before Jack came in there. And Jack gave Carly and Jason the info to go down there and try to track Lucky. I'm going a little kind of out of order, but just try to follow me the best way that you can. Um, so I was wondering the whole time why Tracy was so extra with Sasha. Like she was just being like on it, right? And at first Felicia was like, "Oh, you think that or maybe Mac was like, you think that Tracy has a thing for Cody or whatever." And well, long story short, it turns out that Cody, like she suffered a lot of loss in her life, and Cody is one of the very last, very one of the very few friends that she has that she could sit there and confide in. That he's always nice to her and everything like that. And I guess she feels like with Sasha being there, his new family being there, is one less friend. And that's why she was going so extra. And there's a point where she comes in and starts talking to Lois and Brooklyn about Violet lying. Like Violet's not there going around, not there saying that Brooklyn wants to have a family. And Brooklyn does sit there and say, I want to do it. Now, Tracy is like, no, I don't think you should do it. Gives a bunch of reasons of why she shouldn't do it. And I'm just like, why are you so adamant about her wanting to start a family? Like, why are you so against it? You're not against Chase. So what's the deal? But again, this is about Tracy and just the losses she had. And she feels that if Brooklyn has a family, then that's just one less person that they're going to really be like. Brooklyn won't have as much time for Tracy, and Tracy won't be able to rely on her and depend on her, and just, they have this special bond or whatever. I'm like, Tracy, you might want to think about some therapy, you know? But yeah, that's the reason why she's just been so on it. This conversation that Sunny and Alexis had was just all over the place. And The only thing I'm sitting there thinking about is a strategy meeting to sit there and try to figure out the best way to help Christina. Because there's points where it's like Alexis is upset with Sunny. It seems like Alexis is upset with Sunny because Christina, came to his place and took the gun and she had to sit there and get rid of it and everything like that. But I'm like, that's not on Sunny that Christina decided to grab that gun to do God knows what with it. And also, Alexis, you're the one that actually threw the gun out. There's so many different options you could have took other than going to the bridge and just randomly throwing it out. So it felt like she was blaming a lot of this stuff on Sunny, and I'm like, bro, you're just as guilty, if not, I don't want to sit there and say more, but like, you're putting all this stuff on him, but you contributed to a lot of that. And then there's a point where she's like, I can see why Diane is not going to really be able to represent me because she's spending all her time representing you. But I'm like, but what are you talking about? She was representing you up until a point. I'm pretty sure Diane could sit there and represent Alexis and represent Sunny and represent Jason. So why was she making it seem like, oh, well, Diane's not going to be my lawyer anymore? And Sunny is like, well, you don't really need a lawyer. And if it comes down to it, I'll buy you the best defense that you can, that you would need. But she already has a lawyer. So like this is the part where it's like, I get so mixed up in this conversation. I'm just like, where is this even going? But it doesn't even really matter at this point, to some extent, because Matt comes over. Matt is there talking to Felicia, saying that he has all the evidence he needs to arrest this person, which it turns out is Alexis. But I'm like, do you have the gun? Because if you don't have the gun, then you just have witnesses saying that she threw away a gun. And if that's the case, then you wouldn't have let her go out on bond. So I'm curious about what new evidence that they have on Alexis that is going to you know get her locked up and sent away. Oh, and there's a point where Tracy is not there being a negative Nancy, coming up all sorts of reasons why Brooklyn shouldn't have a family, shouldn't start a family, and somewhere during that whole time, Lois Axis comes back out. Now I hope it stays that way and she doesn't sit there and try to go back to this stupidness that she was doing before, because that was really annoying. Also, Brooklyn and Chase, they finally agree on starting a family, so cool. And then they have 45 minutes to sit there and do a love scene that they're never going to do because, well, we know why they're not going to actually do it. And that pretty much kind of does it for this review. There might have been a little bit of stuff that I might have missed here or there, but that is the gist of the episode. So if I missed anything, write it down in the comment section below. Or better yet, come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and Beautiful, and Young and Restless. With that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video.